Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to get on here and just like talk to you guys about some things. Lincoln has been sick. Like, he didn't sleep all night last night. He slept on and off today a little bit, so I haven't slept since like the night before last, so I'm like extremely tired. But I was listening to the podcast that I listened to, Coffee Convos with Kale Lowry, and there was some things on there about, like, he said, you know, that the reason that she didn't go the route of doing drugs was because, you know, she was exposed to all that, and she feels that if you're exposed to it, then that's why you don't do it. And if you don't do drugs, then you need to at least like have the talk about to your kids about it. And I'm gonna have to say, like, my story is totally different because my mom and my dad both were drug addicts. My dad was an alcoholic and a drug addict. My mom was just a drug addict. And that didn't start until I was probably, like, I don't know, about 10, 11 years old. Like, when I was 9, 10 years old, I was cooking dinner. Like, I was playing the role as the parent towards my brother at that young of an age. And her mom exposed her to all that stuff. That's why she didn't party when she was in school, and she didn't do this. Well, I didn't really party until I got to about 7th, 8th, well, no, it was about 8th grade, actually. And, you know, I met this guy. He was selling Oxycontin, and he was getting them from his dad. And, you know, we were dating. We were selling them together. I've never tried them before. And then just started, like, experimenting a little bit here and then a little bit there. And before I knew it, I was, like, you know, I just didn't do them one day because his dad didn't have any more. And we couldn't, like, get any. Because, you know, if he didn't have them, we didn't do them. Well, I was sick, and I'm like, man, what in the heck is going on? I've recorded my whole addiction story in another video, so if you guys want to see that, like, you guys can go check that out. But, the way I feel about that is, like, I am going to be extremely honest with Lincoln, like we are with Caden. We are very open and honest about addiction in all aspects, like the using part of it, the getting it, the how you get it, like every part of it. And like you give them like little scenarios, like if your friend walks up and was like, hey man, I got a bottle for you to drink, you want to go party? Like, what would you say? Or, hey man, I got a bag of dope. Like, you want to go hang out? As in heroin. You guys want to go hang out? We can get messed up and hang out and whatever. Like, you know, like ask them how they would react to it. And I hope that you guys can hear me with this water running, so I'm going to run it real lightly. But, like, you just, you know, you put those scenarios out there. Because, you know, I remember always saying, like, I will never be like my mom or my dad. Like, I don't want to be somebody that passes out in the bathroom at work with a needle in my arm, stealing medication from patients because I'm a nurse. Like, I don't want to be that person. Or somebody that's constantly in and out of prison, like that's how my dad was. And, you know, I didn't know anything about withdrawals and stuff. You know, I thought you could just do this stuff, hang out, party, have a good time, and there was no problem with that. There was no consequences or anything. And, well, I found out, you know, the hard way that there actually is consequences to everything that you do. And that really sucked. So I will be very, very open about everything to Lincoln. You know, I will tell him, I mean, not even so much just about drugs, but about sex and about how, like, a lot of men and women get the drugs. They either rob, they either sell their body, or they, you know, strip. I mean, there's so many different ways that people get the stuff or get the drug, and it's insane. It honestly is. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to be very, very open and honest with them. But I just felt that that was like, I don't know, like, I love Kale and I love listening to Coffee Combos, but the way that I took that was like, almost like she was saying that she was better than everybody because she learned from her parents' mistakes. And, you know, I would have been that person if I would have known that, like, withdrawal was a thing. Or, because I would not have wanted to touch that stuff. But, you know, I didn't know that what I was doing as a child, you know, getting me and my brother up for school, cooking breakfast, lunch, or breakfast and dinner, and then lunch on the weekends as well, and making sure, like, figuring out how I'm gonna get food in the house, figuring out how the bills are gonna get paid at such a young age. I didn't know that that was, like, in hindsight, that was me living an addict life without even being an addict yet. But, you know, like I said, I was so young, I didn't know that. And, like, I don't know, it just really scares me so bad. And, you know, Lincoln's only 6 months old, but, our son Caden is about to be 12, and he still acts very young for his age. So I hope, like, and he don't really hang out with too many people, like friends and stuff. So I feel that, like, we're gonna be okay in that, like, scenario with Caden. But, I mean, you never know. Like, you know, this year he's getting ready to be going into middle school, so, you know, things could change. Middle school was when I started acting out, when I totally changed, and, you know, it could be the same for him as well, and that's very scary. You know, all you can do, though, is prep them and prepare them for different scenarios and different outcomes, and pray. Pray to God that they stay safe and that God keeps them safe and keeps the right thoughts into their mind. And just, you know, constantly talk to them about things, because if, you know, when I was in school, they did DARE just like they do now, but they didn't tell you, like, why you shouldn't do the drugs. They just said, you know, don't do drugs, they're bad for you. Well, you know, like I've said before, so many things are bad for you nowadays, and so what? They're bad for you, woo. Like, everybody's meant to die at some point in time, so that's just the way that I looked at it, and I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm rambling right now, but, I'm just being honest, like, that is honestly the way that I looked at it. Or look at it now. Like, you have to be so open and honest with your kids, because they will experiment, you know. They have, you know, kids get friends that, you know, do things like that, and you gotta be able to prepare them to be like, look, buddy, I can't hang out with you because you're doing stuff like that, and I don't do things like that. If you guys hear things, it's because I'm putting dishes away. Sorry. But, like, you gotta prepare your kids. Like, and especially if you're an addict, you know, like, what to say, and you know the harshness of things. You know, maybe if you are not an addiction, have never been an addiction, maybe that's something that you should do, is find somebody that was an addiction. I wouldn't have like a straight, like an active addict talk to your kids, but somebody that is clean now. Or maybe it would be good to have an active addict talk to them, but maybe the active addict wouldn't come out as harsh, and that's what you need. This world is harsh. It's a harsh place. It's evil. It's very demented. You need to express that to your children. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not all rainbows and kiss boo-boos and all that when they get older. It is time to realize that, you know, stuff's getting real. Stuff's getting very, very real. And I thank God every single day that He gave me something that I was never supposed to have. Like, when I was in prison, I went through this thing called the Epiphany. It's kind of like Kairos, but it's for the younger kids, or for younger adults, or younger kids that are like adults. It's from ages 18 to 24, I think. Yeah, I think it's 24. I might be wrong there, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, because I would always, like, pray to God for all kinds of stuff when I was younger. I would pray to God that my stepdad wouldn't touch me tonight, or wouldn't molest me, or wouldn't try to stick his thing in places that it shouldn't be. And I would, you know, pray to God, like, please don't let him hurt me no more. Please don't let him touch me no more. Don't let him beat on me no more. And, you know, things like that still happened. So I always thought, you know, God was not here for me. Was not here. Did not hear me. Didn't care about me. But you know something? I didn't realize until I was in prison that God was hearing me out. God was sorry, I'm giving you guys the most messed up angle ever, but it's because I'm trying to put dishes away. But God was hearing me out, and He was answering my prayers, but it wasn't in the way that I wanted it, or the way that I thought it should be done. It was being done in His will, and I didn't understand that until I got to prison and went through that Epiphany thing. And it was something that touched me. That whole experience was something I will never be able to talk about and, like, express how I felt during that whole experience, because it is just completely unexplainable. Like, you have to go through it yourself to be able to feel what I felt. I don't know, it was just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. It was the best feeling in the entire world. And I only went through that because, like, growing up, I wasn't, like, when I was a very, very little girl, my stepdad's grandma always took us to church. Well, once we got old enough, you know, we pushed it away, and she just stopped taking us. So I wasn't a big person that was, like, you know, all into, oh God and Jesus and all that growing up. So I didn't really, like, know much about all that. But going through that experience, I totally just forgot where I was going with that. But going through that experience was probably one of the best things in my entire life. It showed me the true meaning of God and how He really is there to help. And it may not be in the way that you want it, but it's because it's done in His will. And, like, I didn't really understand that until that whole experience. But, that was what opened me up to the whole God experience. And I then continued to pray. Hold on one second. Lincoln's awake. But I then continued to pray for God, or to God, you know, to give me a baby and to get me out of, give me the strength to get myself out of my past relationship. And I actually had the strength to leave him when I got out of prison the second time. And I never looked back. I never thought about going back. I even let him come to the house, pick up his things, and leave. And the old me would never have done that. And I never in my life could take or would take any of that back ever. Because that was probably the best feeling ever, was being able to do that. And now I am blessed with an amazing husband. An amazing family that truly cares about me, and my sweet, sweet little boy that is 6 months old that I was never supposed to have. I was never supposed to be able to have children. I've made a video on that also in the past, so if you want to go watch that, you are more than welcome to. But, and also, I am blessed with Caden, that is Willie's almost 12-year-old that he had from his past marriage. And, like, I don't know, I never really understood why God blessed me with all this stuff, but I am forever grateful, because I shouldn't have all of this. I was a very evil person in the past, and I am forever grateful for everything, literally for everything that I have now. And I thank God every morning and every night, and in between the day when I'm eating. Every time I pray. I mean, we even have Lincoln, like when I feed him, I hold his little hands and we pray, even when I'm not eating, because I want to get him into that habit. And I just want to show him, you know, how amazing God truly is. You know, Caden isn't into like God or anything like that. Like, he doesn't come to meetings and support his dad, which his dad would really like. You know, that's why we want to raise Lincoln in the rooms, because, you know, it feels amazing to have your kid there to support you in the decision that you're making to keep yourself sober. It feels amazing, but Caden, I don't know why he won't do it. Maybe it's something that's within him, but he just will not go to support his dad. And, you know, that's his decision. We will not force him to do that. It would be amazing. Yes, it would. Because you know that when they're there supporting you, that they truly, you know, they support you 100%, and they stand by your decision of being clean, and it feels good, and it makes it, you know, just that much more worth it, knowing that, you know, you have them just as much as they have you. But anyways, this video is all over the place. I started out talking about, you know, protecting your children from drugs, and it went all over the place. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that if you guys have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and message me, or like message me on Instagram, or you could also comment down below. I do answer all DMs and I do answer all comments. So if you guys feel like want to do that, go ahead and do that. If you guys have any video ideas on anything you guys want to know or see, go ahead and leave those in the comment section down below. I love you guys. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Love you. Bye.